Let's play! Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to my list of top 10 games of 2016 for me. So, everyone's going to be doing their top 10 or whatever, GOATY lists as they call them, but my GOAT is going to be slightly different in that I am hoping to make a list that is a lot more personal, because, see, a lot of people's GOATY lists will be games, because, you know, there's only so many games that come out in the year, there's going to be games that even they might not have played on there, but because, oh, it came out in 2016 and everyone's talking about it, I don't really like that. I'm more of a guy who believes that gaming is not defined so much by years, but by, like year of release, but rather your year of gaming, because, you know, everyone has different experiences with years, and especially because this year I decided to start tackling my massive bucket list of games. My GOATY list is going to be slightly different. It's still going to be mostly games that came out this year, mind you, because of course in this year, of course I'm going to play new games that are coming out, but what I'm going to be doing for this my Game of the Year list, it's more of a discussion more than a list. It's not going to be hard and scripted out like some people are going to do. My Game of the Year list is going to be number one in no order, because God, I can't order them except for one of them. One of them has a very clear list in order and all that. But it's also going to be games that I primarily played in 2016. So if they came out in 2015, but I didn't finish it until 2016, or if it came out years and years and years ago, but like this is when I finished it, you know. So games that I feel like were defined by 2016, not so much came out in them, or ones that, you know, are inherently 2016-ish, but for the most part just like games that are what represented 2016 in gaming for me. So if you're here expecting me to be like, oh, whatever, Battlefield 1 because people talked about it and it was a game, or Titanfall 2, it's like, I'm sorry, that's not for me, that's not my gaming list. So without further ado, let's get started on some of the games that I really enjoyed in 2016. So the number one, and when I say number one, this is the one where I said that this one is going to be the actual hard number one. My game of the year, by far, was Final Fantasy 15. And this is kind of controversial, because I know a lot of people who really don't like Final Fantasy 15. They don't like the characters, the story, the gameplay, the fact that it is undeniably unfinished. I will be the first to, like, don't worry, I'm not saying it's perfect. It is far from perfect, especially because they're going to be adding in more stuff to the latter half of the game, because they're like, yeah, we kind of screwed up on that. But it is still my game of the year. And I guess the reason is because I got very emotionally involved with this game. I didn't do a Let's Play of it. I decided for it to be a more casual, laid-back experience for me, mostly because of how the game was set up, where it was kind of side quests and story separated and all that. If I were to do a Let's Play, I would primarily just do the main story and probably do all the side quests off to the side. I might do a Let's Play one day. I really enjoy that game, and I think I'd like to share some of the stuff I found out about it, but because I was able to play it on my own, I got very emotionally attached to the characters. I watched Kingsglaive. It is a fine movie. Not good. Fine. It's decent. Except for the final action sequence, that's amazing. I watched Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15. That's a good anime intro series. I'd say that's better than Kingsglaive. I read the prequel novel. There is a prequel novel. Did you know there is a prequel novel? Well, now you do. I did not play A King's Tale beat 'em up because I couldn't get a code for that. But like, I engaged with this multiverse before the game came out for a good while. And when it finally did, I don't think I've ever been so satisfied with a final product. Like, it is what I wanted. And I was worried for a bit that the game wouldn't be good. But Final Fantasy 15 is kind of what I've always wanted from a Final Fantasy game. The action is amazing. It is such a fun game to play. Mind you, the platforming is not good. You might say, what are you talking about? I beat the game, there wasn't platforming. Go to the secret bonus dungeon that is entirely platforming. I will say no more other than prepare yourself for levels of platforming not seen unless from like Super Mario Galaxy's grand finale galaxies. You have been warned. But like the characters are some of the best. Like, I love them all. You know, I love all the characters. Noctis is such a good main character. Prompto is a friend, and anyone who dislikes him is wrong. Talking to some people in particular. Gladio is kind of gruff, but he's cute, so it's fine. And Ignis is the team mom, and it's like, I love all these characters. And I think the big thing that got me was, I had the ending to the game spoiled for me. Don't worry, I won't spoil it here, because it's a magical thing. But, I will say, even with it being spoiled for me, I cried at the end, and as a lot of people saw that picture on Twitter rather, that I posted. That was real. Those were my real tears that I posted, because I wanted to prove to my friend that yes, the ending is good, because look what it did to me. That game is spectacular, with flaws, many flaws, that some of which are looking to be fixed in the future, but for the most part, I loved it. It is my game of the year. I am very happy it finally came out, and I'm back in. You know, I didn't play after Final Fantasy X, there was nothing for me. 11, MMO. 12, that doesn't look like Final Fantasy, I don't like that. 13, the less we talk about 13, the better. 14, MMO again. And then comes 15, and like 15 is up there with 5 and 6 as my favorite. It is so good. But yeah, so Final Fantasy 15 is by far my game of the year. If you haven't had the chance to look at it because you might have heard of the controversies or any of that, don't worry. I'll say, like, I think you'll enjoy it, unless you enjoy fun, in which case you should probably pick up Battlefield 1 instead. Oh, snap! But, alright. After that, the rest of these games are in no particular order, and they're just, I'm gonna be a little more succinct about them, because I have a little less to say. Alright, number 2, I know I said I was gonna do a big review on it, but I actually ended up not, because it was just time and stuff. Pokemon Sun and Moon, but I played Sun. Pokemon Sun is the best Pokemon game we've had in a long time. It's my favorite Pokemon game now. Everything about the world, the characters, the gameplay, the new Pokemon, some of the story elements, holy man. Okay, like, I don't want to give spoilers away, but Pokemon Sun goes places that I didn't expect the bright and cheery anime-looking, thing to go to. In particular, I'm not going to give spoilers, but let me just say, I've always held this notion in my mind that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company are scared to harm a Pikachu, but that's obviously not the case. I always thought it was like this status symbol that, it's like Mickey Mouse. You can't draw Mickey Mouse wrong or else you'll get sued by Disney, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Pokemon Sun does something with Pikachu that surprised me and kind of made me feel sick to my stomach. That game is amazing. It's really good. It is the best Pokemon game, and I eagerly look forward to the third version, which I'm like 90% certain will be on the Switch, but I'll get it again because it's really good. X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I felt, were major steps down from the beauty and awesomeness of Pokemon Black and White and Black 2, White 2, which were the previous best games in my mind. And Sun and Moon feels like a return to that in many ways, in the music, in the characters, in the world. So I really enjoyed it. And I think that is easily a game that is a must-have if you have a 3DS, any of the 3DS family. After that, we got Hyrule Warriors Legends. So this one is, of course, kind of a semi-sequel, remake of the Wii U game. And somehow, I don't know how they did it, but it is by and large a better game, despite having like way less enemies on the screen. But it's just like, it's weird, because when I was used to playing it on the Wii U, and it was like, yeah, this is what it is. But then when you boot it up on the 3DS, you're like, this is a bit weird. It feels slightly off. But then as you play, you realize it is the exact same experience as the Wii U game, but better with new additions, and it's like really good. It's a really good game. That's one has so many hours of content in there. Like, I can't even begin to think about scratching the surface of that one. I'm almost worried about Hyrule Warriors 2, which will happen. It will happen. It'll be on the Switch, and it will just combine them and add more. I'm almost kind of worried because there is so many missions and chapters and everything in the game already. It's like, how will they balance it all out to make it not be a 10,000 plus hour game? But no, it's really good. Got all the Zelda characters. It's a Warriors game. If you don't like Warriors games, you probably won't like it. I'm a huge fan of the Warriors formula, therefore I enjoyed it. There we go. Looking forward to Berserk and the Band of the Hawk in 2017. Stupid name. I like to call it Berserk Warriors. Number 4, Overwatch. So, I know, a first-person shooter on my list. I am shocked myself, but Overwatch it's a great game. It is, if there was any first-person shooter, it's like this would be the one, and it is fun to play online. It reminds me a lot of Splatoon, but also has, like, elements of Team Fortress 2 without being dumb. I don't like Team Fortress 2 anymore. I feel like it's really straight from its roots, blah, 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 blah. But, I think the big thing for Overwatch for me, though, was the world. The story and the world are so good. The characters are great. Not to be like that guy bringing up controversial issues, but the fact that the main character on the box is gay is super cool. I know some people got really salty saying, I can't believe I bought something with a gay person on it, now my money is gay. Like, people's overreactions are nuts. But it's a great game. It's doing a lot of good for the world, and it's also a fun game, which is really good. I play it every now and then, but mostly my sister plays it, so if you see me online, it's probably not me online. There's a 99% chance it's my sister, which means you have a worse, if you fight me, you'll get destroyed by her, but not me. I suck at the game. But it's fun, and I have fun with it. Mind you, it's not like some other games where I would sit down and play it for 40 hours. It's a game I'll pop in for 2-3 rounds and be like, I am satisfied, and turned off. And you know what? The fact that it's continually being updated and all that, that's good. That's what I want from a game, you know? Overwatch is great. Very happy my friend Adrian showed me that. And that's another one I would recommend if you are looking for some multiplayer games, you know? Alright, number 5. So, this Let's Play on my channel is, like, officially done. I feel like I've covered almost all of the game, and, like, the final stuff I don't really care about too much. It is Senran Kagura Estival Versus. It is the PS4 beat-em-up featuring scantily clad ninja girls, and, say what you will about the subject matter. I think it is such a fun experience to play because it is just mindless fun. It's like, imagine a Warriors game with even less thinking. Now, mind you, Warriors games require thinking because it's all strategy based, but in this one, it is just throw you into an arena with a bunch of enemies, and it's like, fight. Customize your character and fight. And you know what? That is all I need from games sometimes. Mind you, the story and the world are actually really good, and they're a lot deeper than you would expect because of, the obvious subject matter. However, I think it's a really good game that sort of showcases that just because something has a lot of sex appeal doesn't mean it is mindless entirely. In fact, I think I know more females, it feels dirty saying that, I know more girls who enjoy the game than guys. That's kind of a bit of a paradigm I know some people have, but I think it's crazy fun, and can't go wrong with that. Also, dang, that music is good. So, that one is number 5. Number 6, we have one, oh my god, just thinking back on this one makes me happy. Digimon Story CyberSleuth, released last year, but of course the Let's Play went into 2016 for me. And I gotta say, man, I never expected a Digimon game to be a Persona game. Not in difficulty, mind you, but in terms of, like, the world and everything and the story, and it's kind of up there with one of my with on my list of must-buy PS4 RPGs. It is just, I can't say much other than watch my Let's Play, because I feel like I cover that game pretty much entirely in detail, and I would really recommend you just giving it a check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. If you haven't watched it, please. I use the entire Digimon the movie soundtrack, which is the greatest soundtrack known to man. The Let's Play is 90% me saying Digimon the movie is better than the originals that they're based on, which I know is a controversial statement, but shut up. But just go watch that Let's Play. But that is such a good game. And Digimon World Next Order, a game I didn't expect to come out here, is coming out here with an English dub. So I am totally getting that. Will I do a Let's Play? Probably not, because it is a Digimon World game, which I'm not as big a fan of as I am the Digimon story games. I'm sorry. Alright, now we're getting into some of the old stuff. The stuff that is not 2016 or 2015, but stuff I played for the first time this year. Number 7 being Symphony of the Night, of course, the Castlevania series. That game is really good. It is kind of a definitive genre game. Like, it is, if you were to ask me, you know, hey, show me what a Vania game is, or a like, I mean, they don't like to say Metroidvania as much anymore because Metroid games are moving away from Metroidvania. Mind you, then Castlevania games are also dead, so it doesn't matter. But if someone was like, show me a Metroidvania game, I would show Symphony of the Night over Super Metroid, because I feel like it really covers the way you get power-ups and the way you explore and the secret styles and all that. Like, it is wonderful, and it makes me incredibly excited for Bloodstained. Which I, of course, have backed quite a bit because I love you, Koji Igarashi. But I'm very happy I was able to play it this year. And I'm looking forward to possibly playing some more like Castlevania, Igavania type games in the future. I hope that they release them on the Wii U Virtual Console or the Switch, because I really want to play them but not spend exorbitant amounts of money to get them, the old ones. After that, similar vein, Megaman X. Now, mind you, I played Maverick Hunter X, which is the reboot, remake, restyle, all that stuff. But, however, for all intents and purposes, it is Megaman X, and that game frustrated me in terms of some of its choices, but it's good. And I was on a kick for Mega Man, especially after he was announced for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is also why I was on a huge kick of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But that game is another situation of I wish I played it sooner. It is a really good video game that I feel like everyone should at least not so much beat. I wouldn't recommend trying to beat it because the final boss is dumb with it being only weak to one thing, and but hey, I think everyone should play it because it feels good, it looks good, the music is outstanding. It is a textbook good video game, you know? It's when I think of video games, I think of textbook good video games. Super Mario Galaxy, and now Mega Man X. Stuff like that, you know? After that, this one's kind of cheating because it's two games, but they kind of flow into each other and sort of form one in my mind at least. And that is Ace Attorney 5 and 6. 5 being Dual Destinies and 6 being Spirit of Justice. Now, I haven't beat Spirit of Justice yet. I'm still working my way through it. But I did beat, finally, Ace Attorney 5. And let me just say that game threw me for a bit of a loop. I was very much under the influence of people's online opinions saying that, like, Dual Destinies is a bad Phoenix Wright game. It's worse than Apollo Justice. It's not a good game. Blah, 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 blah. Athena Sykes is a terrible character. But after playing it, I really enjoyed it. And I think one of the reasons I really enjoyed it was the fact that it got really dark. Like, that game has an M rating. And I was like, for a long time, even once I was into the final chapter, I'm like, why does this game have an M rating? This game does not deserve an M rating. However, in that final case, there is one specific thing that is talked about that is so indescribably rather brutal. That is amazing. And that final chapter there, the final everything, really set me up for, like, this is a good Ace Attorney game. And I feel like Spirit of Justice is following suit. I need to still beat it. It's kind of tough because I'm, like, living at home now. When I'm at home, I don't so much want to play Phoenix Wright. Like, I'm saving that for when I go back to school, and I'm using that for long bus rides. But, like, it's such a good game series. That's another one where I'm like, if I had a friend who was like, hey man, I just want a good game story, give me something, I'd give them Ace Attorney 1, 2, 3 HD because it's such a good series and something that I feel like more people need to know about. Honestly, 2016 was a good year for Phoenix Wright because the anime came out too. And while people have their problems with the anime, I actually really enjoyed how it switched up some stuff and how it started off kind of weak, but then every episode it ramped up. Like, I'm talking, it got hype, it got huge, it got cool. I'm really hoping we get a second season, or at least some form of, more of it, but we'll see. I don't know if we will, but I really enjoyed it. It was what I wanted ever since I was in junior high writing Phoenix Wright fan fiction. That was a true thing. And finally, for number 10, this one is extremely personal. It's Persona 4. So Persona 4 was a bucket list game. The first one that I really played on my channel. That I bought it, and people were like, you should let's play it, Tanner. Saying that, oh, you'll love this game. And it's like, I knew about it. I knew about a bunch of the twists, and I'm like, we'll see how it goes. I initially started it when I kind of started university. I was like, we'll see if I can finish it by the time I'm out, joking. But then it really almost became a race to see if I'll finish it by the time I'm out of university. But like, that game is similar to Final Fantasy 15. It's good for the exact same reasons. The characters are realistic. The gameplay is great, but the characters, the setting, all of it is so good. They feel like real people, like real friends, to the point where at the ending, I did cry. And unlike Final Fantasy 15, you can watch me cry in the finale episode that I put up, which is incredibly embarrassing, but at the same time, that's the mark of a great game. That's the mark of a game that has touched you in ways that other mediums might not be able to. I've never cried over a book. I've never cried over a comic. Mind you, movies, I'm pretty bad at times, especially if dogs are involved, but like, for me, if a good game makes me cry, then that is the mark of something wonderful, and finishing Persona 4 was something wonderful, and something that I very much think really sort of made my year a lot better, because 2016 undeniably wasn't a very good year for some people, like half the world, but I do believe that, like, it really helped. It is an experience that I would love to wipe my memory and do again. Honestly, it's one of those things. I know some people say that about games. Persona 4 would be one I would gladly wipe my memory and play again if I had the ability to. I'm looking forward to, and I will eventually be doing the story mode for Persona 4 Arena, continuing that. However, I do have more games I want to get out of the way, and I guess this is where now we're going to segue into the game plan for videos in 2017. So I do have Shantae, which I'm going to finish up. It's a short game apparently, so it's like we're not going to be too far away from finishing that. Danganronpa, I do want to finish. That one's going to take a while. That one's going to go well into 2017, I'm betting. But I'm loving that game. That game is so good, and it might appear on my 2017 Game of the Year list, because it's going to take a while to get through it. Other games. Yooka-Laylee and Persona 5 are coming out on the same day, and I'm going to have to make a decision. So I'm thinking before Yooka-Laylee, I kind of want to do a Let's Play of, now that I have an Xbox 360 and a copy of it, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, because I want to know what Rare's sort of like last next-gen experience kind of was, because I've heard very varying things, and I'd love to make my own decisions on how good or bad it is. Other games that I'd love to look at. My bucket list is growing. Devil May Cry 3 is on there. I'd probably do the HD version. And I'd love to do a Mega Man Battle Network game. I know I just did Maverick Hunter X, but that would be on there. And honestly, if I were, I think I'd do Mega Man Battle Network for Blue Moon, which was my first Battle Network game. So obviously it's the one I have the closest connections to. Also, apparently it's the worst one, so we'll have fun with it. We'll have fun reading the terrible translation. I remember that translation wasn't the best at times. And finally, I am going back into student teaching. That will be a part of it, so there will be a 9-week period where videos might stop. That's 2 months, and I apologize, but like it's kind of necessary for life, kind of an important thing. So we'll see after that. We'll see how that goes. But for the most part, yeah. Thank you all for watching my 2016/2017 video. You guys were awesome. 2016 wasn't the best year, but for my videos, it kind of was. Because I was able to beat some big games that I've always wanted to. I was able to meet people who, like, recognized me in an entire other country. London. That's a country, right? I was able to go, like, it's been ups and downs. You know, personal ups, societal downs. Let's keep it at that. But thank you all for being with me. We'll see you all in 2017. Ciao, guys. Thanks.